Cold rain kept sliding off the metal awning above the bus stop on Alameda Street. It dripped right onto Marcus Johnson's worn hoodie. He didn't move away from it anymore. The sidewalk smelled like wet concrete and old trash. A food truck somewhere down the block burned grease into the night air. His stomach twisted, then went quiet like it always did after midnight. Marcus sat with his back against a brick wall near Skid Row, a thin blanket wrapped around his legs. His shoes were soaked through again. He stared at his hands like they belonged to someone else. They were cracked from cold and work that was no longer there. He flexed his fingers slow, just to feel something real. "Still there, man?" he whispered to himself. His voice sounded rough, like it had been used too much and not cared for enough. A bus hissed to a stop nearby. Lights flashed through the rain like tired lightning. Nobody got off. Nobody looked his way. Marcus pulled his backpack closer. That backpack held everything left of his life. 2 shirts, 1 photo, half a charger, and a small notebook with a broken pen taped to it. He wrote in it every morning, even when the words didn't come out right, even when his hands shook too much. A habit he refused to lose, like it kept him human. A man walked past fast, head down. He dropped $1 near Marcus without stopping. "God bless you," Marcus said. The man didn't answer, just kept walking into the rain. Marcus picked up the $1 slow, like it might disappear if he moved too quick. "Still counts," he said under his breath. A siren echoed somewhere deeper in the city. Los Angeles never really slept here. It just changed sounds. Marcus leaned his head back against the wall. Cold brick bit through his hoodie. He remembered a different kind of wall once. White paint, clean kitchen, a fridge that worked. That felt like another lifetime now. His phone buzzed once. Low battery, 9%. He turned it on anyway. 1 missed call, unknown number. He stared at it longer than he should have. "Probably nothing," he said, but his thumb hovered anyway. He didn't call back. Not yet. A memory came in slow, like it didn't want to be there. A construction site in downtown LA, 6 years ago, maybe 7. Steel beams, hard hats, loud laughter over drills. Marcus was one of the best there. People said it without thinking. "You got hands, Marcus," his foreman used to say. "You don't waste motion." Marcus used to smile at that, proud without saying it out loud. Then the fall came on a Tuesday. A fall that didn't look like a fall at first, just a pain in his lower back. He thought it was nothing. Just push through it, the foreman said that day. So he did. Then the pain got worse. Then it didn't stop. Then he needed them just to stand up. That was the first crack. The second crack was the job. They let him go on a Friday. No ceremony, no fight. "You just can't keep up anymore," they said. He tried to explain. They didn't want explanations. That was the last time he wore a vest with his name on it. Marcus blinked hard in the present rain. He rubbed his arms, trying to shake the memory off. A woman sat across the street under a tarp. She was humming to herself. Marcus nodded at her. She nodded back, like they shared the same invisible world. "Cold night," she said. "Every night," Marcus answered. She laughed once, short and tired. "You eating today?" she asked. "Tomorrow," Marcus said, then added, "Maybe." She reached into a plastic bag and tossed him a granola bar. It landed near his foot. "Don't say I never did nothing for you," she said. Marcus picked it up. "Appreciate you, Linda." She waved it off, like names didn't matter much anymore. But they still did to Marcus. Names meant people were still real. Rain slowed for a moment. The city got quieter, but not kinder. Marcus opened his notebook, wrote 1 line. "Still here, still breathing." He stared at it. "That's enough for today," he said. He thought about his daughter, 12 years old now. Her name was Kayla. He hadn't seen her in over a year. That hurt in a way no injury ever did. He used to call every Thursday, even when he had nothing good to say. "Hi, Daddy," she used to say, like he was still someone who could fix things. One day, her mother stopped answering.
Changed the number. That was it. Just gone. Marcus swallowed hard. Rain hit his face. He didn't wipe it off. A man shouted down the street. Argument. Maybe nothing. Maybe everything. Marcus didn't look. He learned early not everything needed attention. A shelter was 2 blocks away. He could walk there. He didn't. Not tonight. Shelters meant rules, crowds, waiting, shame you could feel in your bones. He pulled his blanket tighter instead. A truck rolled by slow. Its headlights washed over him. For a second, the driver looked right at him. Marcus gave a small nod. The truck kept going. That was how most moments ended now, just passing through. Marcus leaned his head back again, closed his eyes for a second. He remembered something softer. A Sunday morning years ago. Coffee in a real mug. Kayla sitting on the counter eating cereal. "You're strong, Daddy," she said once. He laughed then, like it was obvious. Now it didn't feel obvious at all. A train horn echoed far away. The ground under him vibrated slightly. Marcus opened his eyes again. The city was still there, still moving, just not with him inside it. His phone buzzed again. Same unknown number. This time a text came through. "Marcus, it's Danny. Call me." He froze. Danny from the site. He hadn't heard that name in years. His thumb shook a little. He didn't open it yet. He just stared at it like it might burn him. "What you want now, man?" he whispered. Rain started again, harder this time.
It hit the sidewalk like scattered coins. Marcus stood up slow. His knees cracked. He looked down the street toward the shelter lights, then back at his phone. That message stayed glowing in his hand, like something was about to shift, but hadn't yet. He took one step forward, then stopped. The night held him there, and somewhere deep inside, he knew nothing would stay the same after this moment. Not anymore. Rain was still falling hard when Marcus started walking. Each step hit puddles like small broken memories. Alameda Street stretched ahead like it didn't care who crossed it. His hoodie clung to his back. Cold water slid down his neck. He kept going anyway. The phone in his hand stayed warm from his grip. Danny's message was still there, like it was waiting for permission to become real. Marcus stopped under a broken streetlight. It flickered like it was tired of staying on. He finally opened the text again. "Marcus, it's Danny. Call me." That was it. No explanation, no comfort. Just Danny. Marcus let out a slow breath. "Man," he said. His voice cracked on the word. He hadn't spoken to Danny since the layoffs, since everything at the site fell apart. Marcus hit call, then immediately almost hung up, but it rang before he could change his mind. One ring, two, then a voice picked up. "Marcus?" Danny sounded older, tired in a different way. "Yeah," Marcus said. "That's me." A pause, long enough to feel heavy. "You still in LA?" Danny asked. "Yeah," Marcus said. Skid Row mostly. Danny didn't respond right away. That silence said more than words. Finally, Danny spoke again. "I've been looking for you." Marcus laughed once, short and sharp. "Why?" he asked. Danny sighed into the phone. "I got something. Work. Real work." Marcus looked down at the wet sidewalk, water running between cracks like it had somewhere to be. "Man, I don't got tools no more," Marcus said. "I don't got nothing." "You got hands," Danny said fast. "Same hands that held steel. That's enough." Marcus closed his eyes. That line hit something buried deep. He remembered those mornings again. Steel beams, early sun, coffee in a cheap cup. "Where?" Marcus asked finally. "Warehouse rebuild out in East LA, Danny said. They start Monday." Marcus almost didn't respond. Monday felt like another lifetime. "I ain't got nowhere to stay," Marcus said. His voice went quieter. Danny didn't hesitate. "I know a bunkhouse, old crew housing, nothing fancy." Marcus swallowed. This was the part where life usually lied, but Danny didn't sound like a lie. "You sure?" Marcus asked. "I wouldn't call you if I wasn't," Danny said. Another pause came. Marcus looked up at the streetlight again. It flickered slower now, like it was listening. "What about me?" Marcus asked. Danny's voice softened. "You still show up? That's what matters." Marcus didn't answer right away. Rain dripped off his chin. He thought about every day since the injury, every closed door, every empty call. Then he thought about Kayla. He hadn't heard her voice in months. Something in him tightened. "I'm not the same guy, Danny," Marcus said. Danny answered quiet. "Neither am I." That landed differently. Not judgment, not pity, just truth. Marcus looked down at his backpack. Same bag holding his whole life. 2 shirts, 1 photo, half a charger, a broken pen still taped together. "You want me there Monday?" Marcus asked. "Yeah," Danny said. 6 a.m., don't be late." Marcus almost laughed again, Old habits don't leave easy. I ain't got an alarm clock no more, he said. I'll call you, Danny replied, then added, don't disappear again. That last line stayed hanging, like it meant more than work. The call ended. Marcus stood there holding the phone. Rain kept falling like nothing had changed, but something had. He didn't move for a while, just stood under that broken light. Then he sat down on the curb. You serious? He whispered to nobody. A car passed, splashed water over his shoes. He didn't react. His mind was somewhere else now. A place with hard hats, steel noise, early mornings that meant purpose. But doubt came right after it. He knew that feeling too well. Promises had burned him before. A shelter worker once told him about a job. It disappeared the next day. A cousin once said he could stay. That lasted 2 nights. Marcus rubbed his face hard. Don't do it again, he muttered to himself. But his chest already felt different. Like something inside had stood up again. He looked toward East LA in the distance, lights blurred through the rain. Not hope, not yet, just direction. A woman passed him with a shopping cart. She slowed. You okay, Marcus? She asked. He nodded slow. I think so. She studied him for a second, then kept moving. Don't get your hopes too high, she said without looking back. That was honest. Marcus watched her disappear down the block. Then he stood up again. He started walking. Not toward the shelter, not away from it either, just forward. Each step felt heavier now, not from rain, from choice. He stopped once more under an overpass. Wind pushed cold through the concrete walls. Marcus opened his notebook again. The pages were damp at the edges. He wrote slower this time. Got a chance. He stared at it, then added one more line. Don't lose it. He closed the notebook fast, like it might argue back. His phone buzzed again. Danny, one more text. Bring yourself, we'll handle the rest. Marcus exhaled through his nose. Easy for you to say, he whispered. But something inside him didn't reject it anymore. It listened. Far down the street, a bus rolled through empty stops. Its lights washed over wet pavement. Marcus watched it go. He thought about Monday again, about showing up clean, about people looking at him like he belonged there. That part almost hurt more than the streets, because it had been a long time since he belonged anywhere. He sat back down again. Just for a minute, closed his eyes, and for the first time in a long time, he didn't imagine surviving tomorrow. He imagined starting it. Somewhere in the distance, a siren faded. The city kept breathing, and Marcus stayed right there in the rain, holding on to a moment that hadn't decided what it was yet. Monday came with a sky that looked washed out and tired. Marcus stood at a bus stop before sunrise on Skid Row. His clothes were the cleanest he could manage in a bathroom sink. Still smelled like old streets, but it was the best he had. His backpack felt lighter today, not because he had less inside, because something inside him had shifted. Danny's call still echoed in his head. Just show up. Marcus kept repeating it like a prayer he didn't believe yet. The bus pulled up slow. Air brakes hissed like a warning. He stepped in. Nobody looked twice at him. That felt familiar. East LA came in layers through the window. Warehouses, fences, graffiti walls. The city looked different when you had a reason to be somewhere. Marcus got off near a chain-link gate. A sign read, Rebuild Site, authorized personnel only. His stomach tightened. This is it, he said quietly. He walked to the gate. A guard looked at him, up and down. You lost? The guard asked. No, Marcus said. I'm here for work. The guard checked a clipboard, then nodded once. Clock-in trailer over there. Marcus exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for years. Inside the trailer, Danny was waiting. He looked up and smiled. Not big, just real. You made it, Danny said. Marcus nodded. Barely slept, he replied. Danny laughed. That means you're back already. Marcus didn't know what to say to that. A hard hat landed on the table in front of him. Your size? Danny asked. Marcus picked it up, turned it in his hands. Feels small, Marcus said. Danny shook his head. It's the same size it always was. That hit harder than it should have. They walked out together. The warehouse site was loud. Metal clanking, machines humming, men moving like they had somewhere to be. Marcus stood still for a second. Danny nudged him. Don't freeze up now. Marcus nodded. Yeah, I got it. But he didn't yet. First task was simple. Clearing debris, carrying loads. Simple for most people. Not simple after years of survival. Marcus lifted the first beam. His back screamed. He almost dropped it. Easy, a worker said nearby. You good? Marcus gritted his teeth. Yeah, I'm good. He wasn't, but he finished the carry. Then another, and another. By noon, his arms were shaking. Danny came over with water. You trying to prove something? Danny asked. Marcus drank fast. No, he said. I'm trying not to lose it. Danny looked at him for a second, then nodded slowly. I get that. Lunch came in brown bags. Marcus sat alone at first. A man named Rico sat next to him. You knew? Rico asked. Yeah, Marcus said. Rico nodded. You'll either quit or stay. That's it here. Marcus smiled faintly. What you betting on? Rico shrugged. I don't bet on people no more. That honesty didn't hurt. It matched Marcus's world too well. Days started stacking after that. Wake up early, work, sleep in bunkhouse, repeat. The bunkhouse was old. Metal beds, thin mattresses, but it had walls. Walls mattered. One night, Marcus sat on the bunk edge. Danny leaned in the doorway. You holding up? Danny asked. Marcus rubbed his hands. They don't feel like mine yet. Danny nodded. They will. A pause. You ever think about before? Marcus asked. Danny looked down. Every day. That answer stayed between them. No fixing it, just sharing it. Weeks passed. Marcus got stronger. Not fast, not clean, but steady. One morning, Danny handed him new paperwork. Supervisor track, Danny said. Marcus frowned. That's not me. Danny didn't blink. It is now. Marcus almost laughed. Man, you funny. Danny stepped closer. I'm serious. That changed the air. Marcus took the paper, hand shaking slightly. You sure? Marcus asked. Danny nodded. Stop asking that. Marcus signed it. That moment felt heavier than lifting steel, but it stayed. One Friday, Marcus got a call during break. Unknown number again. He answered. Hello? Silence first, then a small voice. Dad? Marcus froze. His whole body locked. Kayla? He said. His voice broke on her name. Yeah, she said quietly. Marcus sat down fast on a crate. I didn't know if I should call, she said. Marcus swallowed hard. You always can, he said. Long pause. You sound different, she said. Marcus smiled without meaning to. Yeah, I'm trying to be. Another pause. Mom said you were working again, Kayla said. Yeah, Marcus replied. I am. Silence again, but softer this time. Are you okay? She asked. That question almost broke him. Marcus looked up at the sky. Blue over steel roofs. I'm getting there, he said. She didn't respond right away. Then quietly, I missed you. Marcus closed his eyes. I missed you more, he said. The line stayed open. Neither of them rushed it. Just breathing together through a phone. That was enough. Later that night, Marcus told Danny. She called me, Marcus said. Danny smiled. That's what happens when you don't disappear. Marcus laughed softly. I almost did, though. Danny nodded. But you didn't. That mattered. Months kept moving. Marcus stopped sleeping in the bunkhouse, got a small rented room. Nothing fancy, but his own. He hung the photo of Kayla on the wall. First thing he unpacked. Work got harder, but he didn't flinch anymore. One morning, Rico came up to him. You're different, Rico said. Marcus wiped sweat from his forehead. Still the same guy, he said. Rico shook his head. No, you're not. Marcus didn't argue, because part of him agreed. One afternoon, Danny pulled him aside. You ready to run a crew? Danny asked. Marcus blinked. Me? Danny nodded. Yeah, you. Marcus looked out at the site. Men moving, noise rising. He remembered being the guy who almost didn't make it back. Now he was being asked to lead. I don't want to mess it up, Marcus said. Danny put a hand on his shoulder. You won't. That was all he said. Marcus accepted. First day leading felt strange. People looked at him different. Not like before. Not invisible. He didn't like it at first. Then he got used to it. One evening, Marcus sat outside the bunkhouse steps. Kayla sat next to him now in person. First visit in years. She looked older. Stronger, too. You really here? Marcus asked. She smiled. Yeah, I am. Long silence. Not awkward, just full. I was scared you forgot me, she said. Marcus shook his head fast. Never. She looked at him. You look better, she said. Marcus laughed once. Sleep helps. They both smiled. Wind moved through the empty lot. Nothing dramatic, just peace sitting there quietly. Later that night, Marcus stood alone again, looking at the city lights. Same city, different life inside it now. He thought about the rain that first night, under that broken streetlight. He almost didn't answer Danny. That almost felt far away now. Not gone, just transformed. He opened his notebook one last time, wrote slowly, "I came back." He stared at it, then added, "I stayed." He closed it gently. No urgency anymore, just certainty. The next morning came soft, sunlight over East LA rooftops. Marcus walked onto the site, hard hat on. People nodded at him, not out of pity, out of respect. That felt new, but right. Danny met him near the gate. "You good?" Danny asked. Marcus nodded. "Yeah," he said. "I'm here." Danny smiled. That's all it ever was. Marcus looked around one more time. Steel, noise, movement, life continuing, and him inside it now, not outside anymore, just inside, where he always should have been. He took a breath, deep, steady, real, and started walking forward with the crew. Not behind, not lost, forward. The moral is not about falling or rising. It's about how a person is never fully gone from their own life, even when everything says otherwise. People break in ways the world can see, and in ways it never notices. But something small always stays. A skill, a memory, a name someone still calls. And sometimes, that small thing is enough. Not to erase the past, but to build a new place inside it. So maybe the real question is simple. What part of you are you still carrying, even now, without noticing? Because sometimes, the smallest callback to life is just someone saying your name and meaning it again. The story is now complete.